You are listening to the Andrew and Troy Show. Now, I found something a little bit quirky online. It is a new movie that is being made at the moment, based on the Harry Potter series. Joining me on the phone is the writer and director of the movie, Justin. Justin, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Welcome to the show. This is exciting. A movie that you've written and you're directing. It's called Severus Snape and the Marauders. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. Well, it's a short film that takes place in 1978 when Severus Snape was a teenager, and he had a really bad rivalry with Harry Potter's father, James Potter. He was very much bullied by James and his friends, Sirius Black, Remus Lupin, and Peter Pettigrew, and then eventually developed a relationship with Harry's mother, Lily Evans. So this movie takes place after everyone's graduated Hogwarts, and for those who've read the books, they know that Snape, before everything that happened in the books, was part of Voldemort's crew. He was a Death Eater. And James, at the time of the movie, kind of knew that he was going to do that. So when he encounters him at a bar, he decides to confront him and do something about him before he becomes a real threat to himself, to his new girlfriend, Lily. And that's basically what the movie is about, is what happens with that confrontation.
Wow. And so have you, you've written it and directed, has it all been filmed?
Yeah, we finished shooting back in February, and
Wow.
I finished editing it in April. And now we're doing visual effects, which is always the longest part. We've got like 180 visual effects shots to do, so it's going to take a while.
That's a lot. And now, is this like a fan fiction that you've written, or does this have the holy blessing of J.K. Rowling?
Oh my gosh, if I had J.K. Rowling even tweet about it saying, hey, this seems interesting, I would probably die of excitement. So it's a fan film. I've actually done another fan film that I released on YouTube about 2 years ago called The Greater Good, which was about Dumbledore when he was a teenager. And it got a lot more success than I thought it would. It's sitting at almost 3 million views right now. And I developed a fan base, and I decided I would do another Kickstarter and raise some money. And we raised about $24,000, and we used that to shoot the film. Warner Brothers called us about a month after we raised the money and said, please don't raise any more money, but you can still release the film just as long as you don't raise any more money and don't sell any more merchandise. We're cool, and don't try and raise money again. I said, okay, thank you for not killing my heart. and then basically we're at where we're at now. We're in visual effects and sound effects and creating the music.
Yeah. Now, online fan fiction websites, Harry Potter fans are thirsty for more. Have they accepted what you've done and what you've created? Is it true to what they expect from a prequel to Harry Potter?
Well, our fan base loves it, and we've been keeping in touch with them every step of the way. Anytime we introduced a cast member, we would see what their reaction was, and it was almost entirely positive. When we released the teaser trailer out into the wilds, as you would, where it wasn't just our fan base looking at it, we got a lot of reactions. Again, mostly positive, 90% positive. There's 10% that are negative because they're like, oh, I don't see James Potter that way, or they're like, why are you even doing this? Some people are saying, please don't do this. Don't change the story. And we're not changing anything. It's not considered what is called canon, which means an official storyline. It's not an official storyline. It's more of a what if.
Yeah.
And it's a big tribute. It's a big tribute to Harry Potter.
Yeah. And are you adding any extra characters who may have not been part of the J.K. Rowling world?
No, we don't have any original characters. They're all characters that come from the books.
Well, I guess
and yeah.
True to the...
These are characters that fans have wanted to see for a while. They wanted to see like a real story from them, and we gauged what the fans wanted by putting out a poll, like, what would you guys like to see next? And they are all like, we want to see Harry Potter's mom and dad. We want to see Snape when he was young. We want to see Lupin when he was young.
Yeah.
So that's what we decided to do.
And what about the mystical characters from the Harry Potter universe? Do you include them as well, or is that a little bit too hard when it comes to the special effects?
You mean like say dragons or something like that?
Yeah.
Well, not really. We do have something in mind that I don't want to give away plot-wise, but creating creatures from scratch is very, very difficult. One of the things that the four characters, James Potter, Remus Lupin, Sirius Black, and Peter Pettigrew, are famous for are turning into other animals.
Yeah.
And they did that because Remus Lupin was a werewolf, so once a month he turns into a wolf. So his three friends turn into animals to help calm him down. We can't afford to turn them into animals, but we do, without spoiling anything, kind of create a bit of an homage to it. Say we recognize it without having to be been able to afford any of that.
Because I could imagine that would be very expensive. Now, the trailer, which I watched just before this interview, which is phenomenal, is up on your website, along with the Kickstarter campaign that you've got going on. What's the website for anyone who might be interested in checking this out?
Well, the Kickstarter finished back in November of last year, but we are still accepting donations for anyone who's gracious enough to lend us a little extra money to finish up the film. It's at www.snapemaraudersfilm.com.
Fantastic. We'll put a link to that up on our Facebook page. Good luck with it. Thank you so much for joining us and having a chat about it. And make sure you keep in contact and let us know how it all goes. We'll be excited to see the final product.
I will. Thank you very much.
Justin, thank you so much for joining us on the show.